Hello, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of Dark Avenger Live. We are live here from Brooklyn, New York, during week 1 of no new comic books and week 3 or 4 of quarantine here in New York, at least here in New York. I don't know how it is around the world. I know a lot of other states are getting quarantine right now. We had the president who came on and said that we are about to face the hardest 2 weeks of this pandemic, and then everything is going to hopefully be on a downward slope. Let's keep our fingers crossed about that. But we are here. We're here to have a good time. Black Knight's been here since the beginning. What is up, Black Knight? Welcome in. Welcome back. Black Knight might be onto something with this whole empire. Maybe Black Knight will be coming back. We don't know. But let's see. So we're here to have fun. We're here to forget about the outside world right now and just sit here and talk about comics, which, like I was just saying, unfortunately, there are no new comics, at least for this month. There's a lot of stuff bouncing around with Marvel and DC. I know Marvel has told a lot of writers and artists to stop writing, to stop producing, because that wonderful, awesome plan that was thrown out at the beginning of this week where comic shop, and we're going to talk about this on Comic Book Weekly, so I'm going to give like a briefie. But there was a plan in mind with Comic Hub where people could buy their comic books like they always do, and instead of getting the physical book, they got a code, and the code would give them the digital book. And then what would happen is when the print copies came out, everyone who ordered the books through Comic Hub through the code would get the book. So basically, it's like what Marvel does with their digital codes in reverse. You get the code first and the digital comic first, and then afterwards you would get the physical copy as well. Sleepy Reader, I was watching your show last night, sir. I'm sorry I got very, very, very quiet at the middle and all the way to the end. I think I actually missed the last, I think it was 40 minutes. I don't know. I have to go back and watch. But Sleepy Reader's been doing some live streams with Agent HQ. Please forgive me. Give me his last couple of numbers. But Agent, they were talking about Max, the Max universe yesterday, Red Hood. I actually got interested in the Max universe. I think I was about to get a Black Widow Max. I think that was the book I was going to get. And then I decided to wait because I think there's an omnibus that collects all the Marvel Max books. I might get that instead. But the artwork in that book looked really interesting. I might actually go back. And there was something else that you guys were discussing after Max, and I think I read that. I can't remember. I was so tired. There we go. That's who he was with. Agent 42Q. Thank you. And it has an exclamation point. What's up, Tevia? So that was a really awesome live show. And I don't know what's going on. I know that notifications for live shows have not been out there. So I've literally been now that Dark Avenger has the ability, because we went over 1,000 subscribers, we're able to post. I was doing that. I've been doing that. I followed up on Facebook in the Dark Avenger Nation group. I followed up everywhere to make sure everybody knew when the show is. And also, I'm going to try to be punctual with this show, 9:30 p.m. Eastern every Friday. So with or without new books, we still have a lot to discuss. So like I was saying, Comic Hub was going to do comics in reverse. It was going to be, you get a digital code, a digital comic book, and then when the print copies came back, you were going to get your print copies, which I thought was a great idea. Unfortunately, comic book shops got scared and thought people were going to go digital, and there were some problems, and it didn't work out. It didn't happen. What is going on, Bavarian? And we got Brad. Hey, oh. Is that like, hey, yo? Like, are we going, hey, yo? Or hey, oh. You jumped in at a random situation. The live notifications are coming back, it seems. Oh, that's good. That's good that they're coming back. I thought it was a good idea. I think it was a great idea. How do you feel about I don't, Tevye, I don't follow these things on TV. And in case I didn't say hi Bavarian again. I think I did, and then I went to Brand. I threw myself off. I thought so. Scott Hall. Hey yo. It's hey yo. Isn't it hey yo? It's hey oh? I thought it was hey yo. I think you need to, are you, oh, maybe? I don't know. I always said hey yo. But that's kind of redundant though. Hey and yo are basically the same thing. So it's like hey yo. Like hey. Maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was a brilliant idea. Again, I feel like there's a look. I'm not going to throw out I'm not going to be a hypocrite here. As you all know, I prefer physical over digital. No matter what I say, it'll always be that way. I've got the books behind me to prove it. I've got the books in front of me to prove it. I've got a stack of 2 months worth of books that I still have to put away. I have a ton of books that I can't wait to buy physically. So I am a physical collector of comics. Not saying I don't read digital books, but the stigma against digital books, like to the point where it screwed this really awesome idea, that's a bit too far. At this point, it's like, look, I love physical books, but if right now there is a way for us to still buy our books and get them at some point, but we have to read them digitally for now, that's a brilliant idea and something I'm willing to do. Again, when it comes to the costs on Comixology for a physical and a digital book being exactly the same, I'm not for that. I don't think a $3.99 book. Now, $3.99 on Marvel, their reasoning for that is they charge an extra $1 because they put the digital code in it. So logic states then if you're getting a digital-only book, you don't have to pay that extra $1 because it's a digital-only book. However, you're still being charged $3.99. So in retrospect, I believe digital books should be at the very least $1 less than the physical medium. But because they're the same price, I don't buy them. I wouldn't buy them. I'd rather just buy my physical books. And also it's so much easier to do so much with digital books. What is going on, Jesse? What's going on, my quarantine brother? How are you? Are you all... By the way, I hope everybody's safe. I know Sleepy Reader is because I saw Sleepy Reader's live stream. So I'm pretty sure Sleepy's safe. But Jesse, I hope you're safe. Brand, I've been talking with you. I know you're safe. Tevia, you've been in several streams, so I know you're safe. Jesse, I haven't seen you in a bit, so hopefully you're doing well, my friend. I think the big winner will be Marvel Unlimited, which in my opinion is the big danger to local comic shops. Marvel Unlimited, yeah, I think Mike Spiderslayer was talking about that also. That's, yeah, because it's a flat rate, and you get all of your Marvel comics, or all the books that are out from Marvel. Agreed with the price. Exactly. I just, if you're going to release, and this is why I think if they ever did do this, that's when you got the physical medium is going to have to worry. Because, for example, on Kindle, I was looking up books on Amazon today, trade paperbacks, because we have at least a month of no new comics. So I'm actually debating a few trades. We'll talk about that later on, but this is more for just the pricing. So I was looking at TMNT, the hardcover collection, because I really would like to get them. They look nice. The way they're they literally throw in all the miniseries except for the crossover with Batman for some reason. But they literally keep everything in chronological order. The books look amazing. The size of the book is, I think it's twice the size of a comic book because it's a larger scale book. I know, Bavarian, you just got volume 4 or 5. You got the Donatello one. And I like them, and I wanted to collect them. The Kindle version is only, I think, $7.99 compared to the actual hard version, which is like $34.99, or was it $14.99? It was either $14 or $7.99. It's probably $14.99 for the Kindle version. So that's a gigantic difference. And anybody who doesn't care about digital or physical, right there, that's a great price. That's literally half price almost. A little bit less than half price, but that's a great price. But again, it's not $34.99 on the Kindle and $34.99 physical, because then what's the point? So I think if comic books ever did do that, where the digital books would be cheaper than the physical, that's when I'd start saying, okay, especially if I was hard up for money, then I'd start picking and choosing, okay, I want this book physically. I want this book in a trade. And then this book I'm not really too keen on, but I do like it, so I'll have it in my digital collection. You know what I mean? At least then you're not spending $3.99 or $5.99 for a book. As a matter of fact, I say $5.99. I keep reminding myself I have to order the Jean and Emma Frost Giant Size X-Men, because the second part to it's going to be in the Storm book, and I'm going to probably end up buying the Storm book as well because I'm very interested in seeing what happens. Let's see. What about DC Comics? DC Comics will have to make a service like any other would. I'm doing all right, thank you. Good. I'm safe except one of my Animal Crossing. I saw that on Facebook. I saw that. Social distance from that Animal Crossing character. Social distance. But look, if it works for Marvel, obviously DC is going to do it. And if it works for DC and Marvel, the independents will follow right after. I mean, it's one of those things where I feel you have two big major companies and neither one wants to be the first to do it because of the fear of how it will be taken, how it will work. And I feel like Marvel, like what Sleepy Reader was saying with Marvel Unlimited, is taking that first step before DC Comics. And a lot of people are talking about it. So this could be, but again, the price of the books would have to be cheaper before I would even consider it. Because it's too much. Yes, the TNT hardcover are amazing. You can read volume 1 through 6 on Comixology during I saw that on Comixology. That's what I did. Now I buy the hardcovers. I know that Casey, which is volume 11, is coming out in July or August. I don't know if it's going to be held back now, but I would love to get a full run, and then I would love to get a second copy of Volume 1 and do a Turtles giveaway when Volume 11 came out. Because I talk about the Turtles so much on this channel. I love the TMNTs. I love every single book they've released for this IDW series. I love the 80s series. It's a book I feel like everybody should try, and very few people try it because they're afraid they won't like it, or the stigma of it's for kids. And the comic book is anything but that. The comic book, actually, there's some, I would say teen up should be reading the comic, because there's some violence, there's some real mature stuff that happens in the comic. And I think that's why when people start to read it and they realize, oh, whoa, wait a minute, this isn't the cartoon from the 80s. This is like the comic from the 80s where it was for mature readers. And it's like, yeah, exactly. This book is actually for mature readers. And it's got, Tom Waltz has done an amazing job on that book. I got to give him credit. And Kevin Eastman has also been on the book, and he's been amazing. My only issue was one artist, and I think it would be in hardcover volume 2. One artist, I did not like his artwork, and I think he stuck around for one arc, so that's like maybe about 3 or 4 months. And the rest of the series, I loved it. It was just an amazing. Hold on. Okay. It was just an amazing series. I loved it. Every moment of it. I can't justify more than 99 cents for digital copy from Marvel or DC. Well, Jesse, I mean, I would go $2. I would say $2. Just because, and again, 99 cents actually is more than enough, because again, you're charged, the reason we're charged the price we're charged for comic books is for print, art, writer, all the cost it takes to make that comic. And $5 to, $3, $4, and $5, and now Marvel and DC, when it's a bigger book, charging $10. I feel like if it's digital, and this is why they'll never lower the price, because if so many people pay $2 or even 99 cents to $2 for a book, the profit will be so low. I feel like the first thing they do is shrink the amount of pages, or do the approach like the digital first, where it's like 5 pages for $1, or 10 pages for $1, and make it weekly, like the way they were doing Injustice for a while, like the way they did the Superman prequel to the movie. There were a few digital first books, and they're not hitting me right now. But there were Smallville, where they give you just X amount of pages, and you pay like $1 to $2. And I wouldn't want that either. I'd rather have a full book as opposed to reading it weekly. I know mangas, they do, I think it's either daily or weekly strips that then become, the book later on. But I would go up to $2 for digital new books, 99 cents. Yeah, oh, definitely. 99 cents for older, definitely. I think the price should definitely go down to 99 cents after maybe 6 months to a year. I mean, to be fair. I'm being fair. I mean, maybe people won't agree, and that would be up to the big companies. But if it was my company, and like if I was running DC or Marvel, I would probably bring it down to 99 cents after a half a year. More towards a year, because you got to think, if a book only comes out once a month, that's 12 issues. And that's like what, 1, 2, or 3 story arcs at most. I would try to push a couple of story arcs out before lowering the price to 99 cents. Then again, I don't know. I don't know. I'm one that loves physical, and even the thought of digital, like, again, I say that would be for books that I was either A, on the fence, or B, I didn't like but wanted to have in my collection, and then a $2 price tag instead of $3.99 $4.99, $10. See, now the $10 books, what would you do? Because if it's a $10 book physically, would that make it like a $3 to $4 book digitally because it's bigger? Again, that's where they'd have to start figuring out, do we have to charge $4 for this book or $5? And the one beautiful thing about ordering from previews with that 35% off, a $10 book is still only $5. Thank you, God. So if I missed it through previews, 99%, I probably won't buy a $10 book, like from Midtown or like the week before or cover price. I just don't think comics have gotten to the point where they should be $10. It's a lot of money for one book. So I don't know. That's just me, but I think that going back to the main topic of Comic Hub, I think Comic Hub was a good idea. I just wish people weren't the stigma of digital taking over. I don't think digital will ever fully take over. Not in our generation. And I say that closer to my generation. I think I'm I think Tevia might be younger, maybe Kat's age generation, because there are a lot of people Kat's age that still buy physical medium too. I don't think, what is up, DNGN? Welcome to the stream. I don't think physical medium for comics will ever go away completely. It might start to shrink over time. They might start making less physical copies, especially if the price goes down for digital books. If it doesn't, digital's never going to take over. I remember reading an article, I think it was either today or no, it was today. It was about the Comic Hub thing. I think Brant, no, I don't even think it was an article. I think Brant was talking about it, where sales for digital are less than $100 or something like that. The sales for digital is way less than the sales for physical comic books. So physical comic books are not going away anytime soon because people are still buying them. You can't slab a digital book. You can't collect the digital book. I mean, you can collect it in a digital library, but you can't. It's not collectible. It's like I can't take the book and show it to you. I literally would have to go on a tablet or something to show it to you. So you really can't do much with a digital book except read it. The value is never going to go anywhere. It's not going to be valued in anything. And honestly, I don't buy books for value, but there are channels dedicated to key issues, to key comic books. Could you imagine 20 years from now, what would that matter? It's like, yeah, look, I got this key issue on my digital pad that you can get for $2 that anyone can own right now. And it's worth absolutely nothing but $2. And it sounds weird saying it that way because I never believe in, look, I'm holding a $3,000 book as opposed to it's a $5 book. I believe if you love a book, it doesn't matter how much it's worth, $5, $10, $500, $1 million. You love that book and it doesn't matter how much it costs because you're not going to sell it anyway. But at the same time, though, that feeling of, wow, Spider-Gwen, nobody knew it was going to blow up. I didn't know it was going to blow up, but I got Edge of the Spider-Verse. And knowing that in my collection, I own the very first appearance of Spider-Gwen almost 10 years later, and she's a big, major player in Marvel, it feels good to know I own that first comic. I can go upstairs and find it, and if I want to slab it, I can slab it. Probably won't slab it, but to know I have it in my collection, it's different than knowing, oh, I have it in a digital collection. I think Brand said what it was, so let's see. 10 is crazy when you could buy a new trade. Exactly, for $2 more. $12, $9.99. You're right. Certain trades are $9.99. In 2010, 2011, digital brought me back to single issues, then back into the shop. And that's another thing. See, what stigma is to one person brings other people in, and then it keeps them around. I hated the New 52. It brought Mike Spider-Slayer into DC. It brought Brandt into DC. I hated it, but it was a gateway, and people came into DC. And now, even though we don't read as much DC, people have stuck around after we went back and started doing some classic stuff. And if digital is bringing people into comic books and then getting them to want to go to the shops, wanting to pick up single issues, hell, even wanting to pick up trades, that's still picking up a physical medium of a book. And that is just as important. Now, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'll always buy physical. I'll always love physical. And I will never spend cover price for a digital book if I can pay the exact same thing for a physical. But I'm not going to sit here and basically say digital should be destroyed, digital should be abolished. Not true. Definitely disagree there. I mean, look at video games. I own physical copies and digital copies. It's just the way of the world. Let's see. Josh, oh, thank you. This is it. Josh Blaylock, publisher of Devil's Due, did a video and revealed his sales. There's a six-figure company making less than $100 on Comixology a month. Oh, they are a six-figure, yeah. So they're making less than $100 in sales, but more physically. Digital medium is never going to fully take over the comic world until generations from now. I'm talking, I don't even know if my son, because remember, we are collectors. Our children watch us collect. My son watches me collect my comics, and he wants to do similar things with his toys. Sometimes I see him do it like he's collecting his figures in a row, like the way I collect my comics. But when they get older, Oddfellows, he had a son who bought, again, physical medium. Now, I haven't watched Oddfellows in a while, so I can't say currently, but when I was watching Oddfellow, it was him and his son, and they both had physical books. If Tommy ever got into comic books, 9 times out of 10, I'm sure he'd want it physically because he sees me with my books physically. And that's why I say the trend may never die, because the next generation sees the previous generation with the books. The previous generation saw their previous generation with the books. I'm first gen in my family to collect comic books. My uncle and a few of my other older uncles had read comic books. They liked comic books. One of my uncles who passed away was a huge Superman fan, but it never came back to me because they stopped collecting when they got older. It's one of those things where I'm the first gen comic collector. Will Tommy be the next gen? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Isabella could be the next comic collector. Who knows? But if it travels down the line, the values and loves that you have for the books and for physical, digital, whatever, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna go down the line to them. I'm sorry, I'm letting the comments pile up. Shops need to think of it as a junction, basically. Exactly. And what happens when the power goes out? How do you read your comics? Jesse, I said that same. Exactly. I said the same. Not only the power, what if the internet goes out? Comixology runs through the internet. I think now you could download your books, but way back when Comixology first came out, you had to read it on the website. I don't know if you could download them now, but at the time you had to read them on the website. And I'm sure you can't download them, because then how easy would it be to re-upload them somewhere else? So again, you'd need internet, you'd need electricity. Yeah, you need all that. Whereas I could just take this book off the wall and open it up. I would need a light, but I mean, seriously, daylight if there was no electricity and I could read, or a lantern or whatever. You know, it's true. It's very true. It's fun to know you have a valuable. Yeah, it's always cool. It's a really awesome feeling. What's up, Brian? Welcome in. And people have been saying print media is dead since even before video allegedly killed the radio star. Yeah, exactly. But hey, it's 2020, and here we are still reading print media. Jesse, I had somebody who told me that Marvel was going out. I think it was 3 years ago. He gave me this entire conspiracy theory that in the following year, Marvel's sales are so bad that they're going to end up closing shop, and they're going to either be doing directly to trade or they're just going to be focusing only on the movies. It's been 3 years, and if anything, Marvel floods the market with books more than DC Comics. So I've learned. What else did they say was dead? There was something else that was quoted dead. Fortnite. Every time somebody talks about Fortnite, somebody will come up and say, "Isn't Fortnite dead?" There was that video about Deadpool. And then a billion comments on it. Isn't Fortnite dead? Isn't Fortnite dead? If Fortnite's dead, I'll tell you something. For a dead game, I'm getting my ass handed to me by dead people, because there's a ton of people still on Fortnite. So it isn't a dead game. It's just so easy to say something's dead because you're dismissing it in your own mind. It's not true. It's just not true. I remember. Oh, you remember? Yeah, I remember. I told Brant that. I was telling Brant the story. It was hilarious. It's like, no, Marvel's not going anywhere. DC is not going anywhere. None of the independent. Valiant went away and came back, and now is playing it stronger than ever with their comics. Their comics are amazing right now. Wildstorm went away, got bought out. Well, no, it got bought by DC, went away, came back through DC Rebirth, New 52, and now there's talks about Wildstorm having possible. There was a Wildstorm period book. I don't know if it probably is over because I haven't seen it. It is over, but easily can be brought back at any time because there are fans. I'm still a Mr. Majestic fan. It's not, anything could be dead. It's not dead. Nothing's ever dead. I think you can read the downloaded books through the app, even if, okay, so that makes sense. See, now that makes sense. So you download it onto the app, and then the app doesn't require you to be online for your archive. That makes sense. That's a lot better. That wasn't there at the very beginning. That's smart. But still, again, the price is what the problem is for me. Since you mentioned Fortnite, have you played Call of Duty Warzone yet? It's funny you say that, Jesse. Yes, I have. I have. I got the game on Xbox when the quarantine started because Xbox had a major sale on big games. I think I paid $20 for Call of Duty, like the whole game. Or was it 25? Maybe it was 25. But anyway, it's $25 for a game that came out a little while back. But still, I played the multiplayer. Warzone came out, I think, a week after I bought it. And I played that. I did a couple of rounds. I really enjoy Warzone. Warzone's, I like it. I've played, I think, 3 matches with friends, and the rest I've been doing solo. I haven't gotten any victories yet, but it's fun. I do like it. I like Warzone. It's fun. I have the game also on PlayStation. I had pre-ordered it on PlayStation because of the Spec Ops, but no one on PlayStation I have on my friends list is playing it. A lot of my friends on Xbox are playing it. So I'm playing it on Xbox. And again, talking about digital, very good, digital. Talking about digital and physical, I have the physical copy of the game on PlayStation, but the digital copy of the game on Xbox. Coming back full circle. The argument isn't really about digital or physical to me. It's more like, why can't I buy my book directly from Marvel or DC if I don't live within driving distance of a specific... It's true. And, the thing is, though, DN, there are so many outlets out there, though, that do ship, like Midtown, like DCBS, like In Stock Trade for your trade paperbacks, like Amazon. Amazon's where I found Nightwing issue 70. I got lucky, and I didn't pay what they're asking on eBay. I did pay a couple of dollars more, but I mean... And I wouldn't say go to Amazon for your single issue purchases. It's always good to support your local comic shop. But if you do not have a local comic shop, the only other option would be an internet shop, which is Midtown, like I said, DCBS if you want to do previews orders. There are a few shops online, actually, but it's hard, And again, it's like, why... you'd like to buy the books directly from the company. I wanted to make sure I understood that correctly. I would love for DC and Marvel to... I know Marvel has a system in place, and I think Bavarian's here. She mentioned it, that their books come in horrible shape sometimes with those orders. And again, you have to pay for your entire year's worth of books in one sitting. DCBS is monthly. Midtown is, if you want to do the previews, it comes out the time you make your order, or you do it every week like I do from Midtown, and you do the week, the following week's books, you pre-order. And it's more cost effective for me to do DCBS and then use Midtown as a segue in between, like the books that I'm not sure I want yet, as opposed to, buying books in advance. And I don't like that books would come damaged from Marvel, or, I mean, at least if it comes damaged to a comic shop, they return it, get better books. So they could build out. I agree. That's what I was talking about last week. Build out their distribution arm again and cut out the middleman in Diamond, which would over time reduce the cost of the books. And I agree, because Diamond, you have to charge more because Diamond takes away. Diamond wants their cut, and then they're also giving us a really nice percentage off. So, yeah, they lose money by distributing through Diamond. So, Tevya, please, let's not go there, okay? I cannot get rid of that, but let's not go there. I'm not going that far down, Tevya. Not that far down the rabbit hole. So, let's refrain from that. But as far as that would be great. I talked about that last week. I think it'd be great if every comic company made their own branch, and reached out to the comic shops, or maybe somewhere, to do something. To You want from DC, it comes from DC. You want from Marvel, it comes from Marvel. It's just hard because you can't, as Tevye put it, just cut Diamond out completely, because there are still people who want to order from Diamond. So Diamond will always be around. Maybe. I don't know. Diamond's in debt from what I heard anyway. They were owed a lot of money. They were in a lot of financial problems as is. So personally, I think it's great for comic companies to distribute to the comic shops, to the big ones like DCBS and Midtown, and then do it through your own company. You don't have to worry about Diamond's cuts, anything. I think it would work better, but none of the companies want to make that jump, and there's a lot of companies, so you got to think about the mom and pop comic shops dealing with every single company on their own. I mean, again, if you order online, like let's say they set it up so that the comic shop would order online, that'd be a lot better than physically having to talk to them every single month. Would it become too this is where I was going, Sleepy, exactly. Would it become too complex to shop owners to order from 20 different companies? That's the problem. It would be a lot of I feel like the mom and pop shops would still stick with Diamond, because literally all of the comics are in one book. Well, now 3 books, but they're all together. It's all from one company, all from one place. So you don't have to worry about ordering from every single different company under the sun. Even manga and statues and and everything you can imagine comes out of previews. So could you imagine if manga had to reach out for mangas in comic shops? I don't know. It sounds like a lot, but Diamond is good for indies. I agree, but I did hear, I forgot where I read it, but an independent writer or creator actually was saying how much of a nightmare it is working with Diamond to get your book approved, and then how many copies you'd have to sell before you even start to see a profit, because of what Diamond takes out and the sales that Diamond does on the sales of their books, of the books. And it's a lot. So I don't know. Maybe the big indies, but for little independent companies, it might not be so much. Had to take phone calls, so I missed some, but wanted to say, if you're going to get TMNT hardcovers, I recommend Target has a BTGOF sale going on once every few weeks. You can get 3 books for... That's not bad. Oh, wow. I might have to check that out. I might look it up, because I know that the books are $34.99 each, and that's the cheapest I could find them, except for the Bebop and Rocksteady volume, which that's why it's cheaper, because it's that miniseries in that book. And there's 1 or 2 books that are cheaper. Oh, Brent's we're getting ready for AEW Aftershock. I'm going to be recording that after this. Look forward to that. If you're an AEW fan, we'll be talking wrestling. Buy one, get one free. It hit me after I read it. Yeah. Thank you though, DNGN, because it sounded like it went over my head. Maybe just a digital catalog that every company. Speaking of digital catalog, I actually do have something for everybody. I have to grab this. I forgot about that. That's actually important. But you say a digital catalog that has every company in it, then order goes out to each separate publisher. That's a good idea too. So basically the magazine is the junction. So maybe Diamond could become that. Diamond could become the junction for the companies, and then the companies have to fulfill those orders and send them to the shops. That's a good idea, Sleepy. That would be a good in between. And by the way, I did get previews this month. Anyone who'd like a previews code, here you go. This will give you all of previews. I believe you get previews, you get Marvel, and you get DC, I think. Or you just get the previews code. You go to previewsworld.com/digital, and you redeem this code, and you can check out previews. Now, unfortunately, the previews are not going to be for the month of June, but possibly July. And I show that code, but I will be doing my previews series again, the 3-parter. I didn't do a poll, so I decided to just do the books in the order that I did them last month. So I'll be doing DC first, followed by Marvel. I'm really excited to talk about Nonstop Spider-Man, and then we're going to conclude with the gigantic previews books. So look forward to that next week. I'm probably going to do it next week. So look forward to all 3 of those books next week. Buy 2 get 1 free. I remember having a Spider-Man subscription that would come to my parents' mailbox each month in a plastic bag, and I think a bag bagging boards. Oh wait, here we go. And thin bag and boards. I gotcha. Backing boards. Yeah, see, that's not how I'd want my books to come, though. That's not how anybody would. I mean, you order from Midtown, you get a bag, a board, a hardboard. Now, it's not like a Mylar, which I actually would like to go. I am actually thinking of buying some Mylars for certain books I have. But, I mean, it's a plastic, it's a board, and the way they ship it is safe. That's where I go back to what Sleepy said, and I agree that they would need to branch out, and they'd have to strengthen and really work on that branch of their companies if that's the course that they're going to go with. Of course, I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for the readers and collectors out there. I don't know if Marvel and DC are thinking about that. For them, it's probably a norm now ever since Diamond came out to just go to Diamond. Maybe it'd be a lot of work to open up another branch, a distributing branch. Maybe. But at the same time, I think it would work in their favor because right now, look at what's going on. Diamond's closed. They can't get their books out. They don't know how to get their books out. And the first idea that they had, the first really good idea that happened, comic shops shot that down almost immediately. And it was brilliant. And it would have only been like maybe this month that we didn't have books. Now we're going 2-3 months. Now, again, I said I'd wait for the books. I don't care how long. But when you have a really, really, really good idea, and you shoot it down because of the fear that everyone's going to go digital, that's where I get upset because we could have had our books. We could have read them, yes, digitally first, but we would have had the physical medium later when the printers came back in, when the distributors, not even the printers, it's the distributors. And everybody could have kept working as far as the writers and publishers, et cetera, et cetera. I'm a little annoyed that they did that. I'm a little annoyed that they shot it down so quick. But what can you do? You know, in the end, what can you do? Hopefully this will only last about a month or 2. I mean, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, the president said he saw that these are going to be the hardest 2 weeks in America. Let's hope that it's not as rough as it can be, and it's nice, and we can get through these rough 2 weeks, and then we can start on the healing. One thing I know is, and the title on this live show says it all, the world is never going to be the same again. Not just the comic book community world, not just the comic industry, not just industries in general. The entire world will never be the same. Nobody in our generations has ever had to live through what we're going through now. Nobody in my mother's generation, my grandmother's generation, I don't think, had to live through something like this, where the entire world is on pause. The entire world is in quarantine because of how quick and how crazy and how fast this outbreak happened. And I don't know. I see that the world is going to be a very different place. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad place, but everything that happens, every impact that happens, both positive and negative, leave a mark. And this definitely is leaving its mark on the world before possibly not even going away, but becoming part of the strand of, like, you know, whenever you catch a flu, a cold, it's going to fade away into like random cases here, there, and everywhere. But right now, without a cure, without anything, it's crazy. It is. As a digital buyer, it just makes me feel punished just for being in the minority, which you shouldn't feel punished. You shouldn't. And I don't hate you for buying digital and I buy physical. But again, it was a really good solution. It was a good solution that basically everybody would benefit from, both physical and digital. And I'm really upset that they did that. I'm really, really upset that, nope, we're going to wait because we're not going to let this kill our sales. Physical comic buyers aren't going anywhere. People who are going to buy physically are going to buy physically. People who are going to buy digitally are going to buy digitally. The only thing I wanted was for both mediums to come out at the same time, or a solution where both mediums would be available around the same time. And that Comic Hub solution was the best solution, and nobody took it. The world will never be the same after, oh God. I don't even want to think about WrestleMania, Jesse. I don't. I'm not watching it. I think that should have been postponed till July. I mean, I know Vince McMahon wants to get his WrestleMania out, and I watch AEW, and they're still putting out their shows from remote locations, and it's just weird. It's weird watching wrestling even right now with no crowd, no one at all, and that's the way it's going to be at least for the next 2 months. I know that the president only said 30 days. I think this is going to go until the end of May. I really think it's going to go until the middle to end of May before things and social gatherings are allowed to be had again. Have you read Harleen? I just started it and read for issue 1 and was completely drawn into the story. Yes, I did read Harleen, and I loved it. I actually have all 3 books up there. So yeah. That's the type of story that makes me love comic books. I agree, and I love the oversized, and I'm glad that they made the trade oversized as well, so they're both the same size. I'm watching WrestleMania. It's going to be interesting. I know Brand is, and he's going to be doing it for Aftershock Wrestling Entertainment, so if you're not subscribed to Aftershock Wrestling Entertainment, you might want to go over to the channel because he's going to have some fun content for that. I hear they're trying to sell WrestleMania for $60 on some app. That's crazy because WrestleMania is on WWE Network for $10 a month, or, if you are already subscribed, for free. I read the first issue, Bavarian. It was really good. I need to read the other 2. Very good. I'll tell both of you. It was a very good 3 parts. I liked Harleen more than Harley Quinn or Harleen Joker, or was it Harley Quinn Joker? I don't remember, but I know I liked Harleen 1, 2, and 3. I loved all 3. I ended up getting the physical issue of only the first book. I am going to get the rest in trade. So that's what I'm doing with Harleen. So what Bavarian got, I'm probably going to get. And I actually am thinking of getting Immortal Hulk in hardcover as well. Again, these are books that I read, whether it be review copies or through our group Comixology for Comic Frontline. That I didn't get physically, single issue wise, that I want to have in my collection. So Immortal Hulk, I'm thinking of doing the hardcovers for. I know Brand hates Immortal Hulk. It's very out there, but it's really good. This last issue was really good. I bought it physically because Hulk Smash, my Hulk, the Hulk where everything is in the third person is back. And I was happy for that. And it's also the 750th issue. So I'm definitely going to probably get that in hardcover. Yeah, we know that, Tevia. I wonder if they'll put in. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. That would be. I'll die. I've heard that In Stock Trade is still shipping items. Yes, they are. I actually found that out today, Ryan. So I'm probably going to end up ordering my trades from them because Amazon isn't shipping till the end of this month, and I'm not waiting. Harleen hardcover is one of the nicest built books I've ever gotten. I know they do really. So this is the thing. Hardcovers are beautiful, and I never would want to stop reading single issues to get just trades. But I have to say, omnibuses, hardcovers, collected editions, absolute editions. I think I was talking to Brand about absolute editions. They're amazingly put together. They're twice the size. They're literally the hardcover of TM. The hardcover of TM. This is the last time I'm going to say it. The hardcover of TMNT. Oh my God, I could talk. Is about this much bigger than a regular issue, and about this wide. Not that much wider, but it's bigger. So the art itself is bigger, and I like having that bigger format to really enjoy the art. That's why I like the Ultimate Collectors. I always look at those books because those are the first books I bought that were oversized, that were huge, where the art literally shined. You could see down to almost where the pen hit the paper. I love blown up artwork, and the hardcover books do that. You get the big art, and I like having that oversized paper art. There you go. Just not my kind of story, and I understand that. Now there's no new books I can try to guilt all the frontliners into catching up on. Yeah, I'm not following Daredevil. I'm sorry. I know it's good. I just could. Maybe I would try it again, but I'm not sure. And then Brant agrees that would be funny. Right after he got his own government organization, that's the moment Immortal Hulk jumped the shark for me. I love Daredevil. It's my favorite Marvel book right now. I never, after, oh God, why did his name leave my mind? Blank and Chris Samney. Mark Miller, no. Blank and Chris Samney. Why is the name leaving me? Oh my God, the only run I actually liked for Daredevil, and I can't remember the writer's name. I'm so great. And he went to Archie, and I can't remember his name. And somebody's going to tell me, Mark Waid, thank you. It was Mark something. Mark Waid made Daredevil for me, but maybe I'll try it again. It's so good. I completely agree. All right, maybe I'll see if I can get. Is the first trade out, DN? Just say yes or no if the first trade's out. Yeah, I just don't like the constant dying and gruesome transformations. Yeah, that's why Brant doesn't like Immortal Hulk. Firestorm, what's up? Omnibuses are the way to go. Come join the dark side, dude. I'd be lying if I didn't say there are a couple that are for pre-order that I might be. I might be starting with the X-Men Chris Claremont Volume 1 re-release. And then there's Uncanny X-Men Volume 1's Omnibus with 2 right behind it. So there might be a sign of the dark side there. Yeah, that Mark guy, the guy. It has to be. Okay, so I'll check it out then for sure. For older runs, but waiting. Yeah, that would be crazy. No, I would only omnibus the older runs or the complete runs or stuff. I'd love. Oh, Wolverine's omnibus. The first volume of Wolverine, I'm also looking into. And we got some Hayes. I love the. Yeah. That's another one that I wanted to look up. The Invincible and Walking Dead collections. I think because I've read most of the Walking Dead in trade, I would finish the Walking Dead. The Walking Dead. Okay, I am having a hard time talking. So you know what that means? That means my mouth is dry, and that means that I'm sorry, everybody. 2 seconds. Whew. I started collecting The Walking Dead in trade paperback, and I think I am right up to where issue 100 is. So I probably would finish it off in trade paperback instead of the omnibus or hardcover. But Invincible, I only have the last 2 arcs in single issue form. So I probably would be more inclined to get the Invincible omnibus or the big, the oversized hardcovers of Invincible before Walking Dead. Now, if I decided to sell all of my trades and upscale, I probably would get the Walking Dead compendiums, I think they're called. I would get those. Another book that I started, I don't have the book down here anymore because it's too big, was Chew. I got the very first Omnivore, it's called, edition, which is an omnibus for Chew. I got the first volume in a slipcase. Beautiful. I don't think they even make those anymore, so I'd probably end up having to start with the trades, but I'd love to get the whole run of Chew. I really would. That's another series I'd love to get. But no, Bavarian, when I was looking up Turtles, there are 2 other series. Excuse me. I drank the soda too fast now. There are 2 other series that IDW does that for also, and that's Transformers and G.I. Joe. The first volume of G.I. Joe has Snake Eyes on it, and the first volume of Phase 2 Transformers has Optimus Prime on it. There's a Phase 1 Transformers also, and the first one has Megatron. Yeah, I really like how IDW does the hardcovers. My only issue is when they sell out, they're $100. $100 for $34.99 books. Oh God, I'm sorry. I've literally let this chat go way far. So we were. I love my Walking Dead omnibuses, and okay, no, that's where I was. Now here we go. If I get Uncanny, better grab them quick. They run out of print quickly. I know. I'm thinking of getting. I think it's volume 1, 2, and 3. 1 is in June, 2 is in August, and 3 is in November. These are all reprints of the reprint. Invincible is much better in trade. I agree, because I tried it in single issues, the middle of the series, and I fell off. I'm probably going to eventually have to switch from singles to hardcovers and omnibuses just for space purposes. Honestly, the only reason I would love to, this is why, the only series, if I was ever to stop buying single issues and literally live for the trades, and I'm going to stop right where Ryan is, and I'm going to, if there's more comments, I'm going to get through all the comments. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere until I get through all the comments. See, that's what I'm doing with X-Men right now. Right now, my X-Men, I am only buying Wolverine because I love Wolverine in single issue form. X-Men, X-Force, what are the other ones? Marauders, and there's another book, there's another series I'm reading that I like. Cable, and if I like Hellions, there's another series, I'm just forgetting it at the moment. All of those I'm getting as trade paperbacks. Unfortunately, I'm not waiting for the hardcovers. I'm getting them as trade paperbacks. Those are the books that I read in our group Comixology. I love them and I want to support them, but I don't want to buy the single issues. I'm buying them in trade instead. A, for cost reasons. B, because I am eventually, when I set up my computer, this whole wall is going to be open. I'm going to have some bookshelves and it's going to look gorgeous. We're going to have books. We're going to have manga. We're going to have trades, hardcovers. It's going to be like, if anyone watches Gem Mint or Near, I didn't know that there were two separate channels, and I subscribed to both of them at the same time. Gem Mint and Near Mint Collectors, whatever the two channels are called. I follow both of them. That's what the idea of the bookshelves are going to be. It's going to be like that. It's going to start out with maybe 2 shelves, and then eventually we are planning on moving. When we move, I'm going to get a whole room, and it's going to look just like Gem Mint collections and Near Mint collections. We're going to have a bunch of collected books and stuff. I'm really getting back into getting the old stuff. I want to start reading, like I was telling Firestorm, the Uncanny X-Men. I want to start getting into the older books again. And then the books that look good in collected trades, I'm going to have those. Even though I'm reading, the only books I'd ever, now going back to what I was saying, the only books I would never drop in single issue form, Turtles, Wolverine, unless it got boring. I'm trying to think of all the single issues I get every single month. Event books, I think I would probably end up, unless it's an event that I'm like Empire, I'm not buying Empire in single issue form, but I am buying Outlawed in single issue form. But if I ever decided to truly only buy the single issues that I love, TMNT, at some point possibly Superman again. Spider-Man, I have to start getting the trades for Spider-Man. I moved Spider-Man to trades. It's hard. I'm just thinking about it. I don't know, because I love doing my haul videos also, so it's hard. I guess it would also have to be if I gave up doing videos on YouTube. Then I guess it would be easier for me to just say Turtles, Superman, and that's it. Everything else will be a trade. But because I love my haul video, doing my hauls, I love getting my comics. I don't know. It's hard, but I think I'd end up getting the single issues and then transferring them to trades. And maybe if Tommy got interested, I'd let him read the trades. It's hard. It's very hard for me to think of that because all my life I bought single issues and then I got trades of the older books. So it's hard for me to sit back now and be like, oh, let me think of every book that's coming out right now that I'd buy in trade. It's hard. And then like Turtles, I own every single physical single issue, but the hardcovers look so gorgeous, especially when you have them all connected. It's like, I wouldn't turn that down, because another thing is with the single issues, you put them in the long box and the long boxes pile up, and it gets to be it's hard to get to the middle long box, to get the books in the middle long box. But with a trade, you just slide it out of the shelf. You have more than one book. You don't have to take anything out of plastic and then put it back and scotch tape and make sure everything's okay. The book is there. You slide it out. You open it. You read the whole arc. You close it. You put it back. There's a huge, and this is why I don't blame Firestorm or Ryan, he's Blade 4127, for going into the trade and hardcover and omnibus form, because it's so much easier when you buy single issues. I mean, this is 2 months over there. You see over there? That's 2 months of books. These right here. This is 2 months worth of books. Getting to the books in here would involve moving all of these and making sure none of these fall. It's hard. It's hard with single issues, but with a trade, you just pull the trade. There you go. You can read it. And that's why trades are awesome. And that's why I think a lot of my collecting is going to involve getting trades, even if I get certain books in single issue form, just because it's such a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt to get them back when you want to read them. And again, it's a whole arc. You'd have to open up 5 different books, plastics, just to take the book out, read it, and put it back in the place, zip it, and put it back, and to get the next book. Trade, you just read the whole thing. I feel good, put it back, done. Sorry, that was longer than I thought I would be. I really want a Gotham Academy Omnibus. They have to make that at some point, like a yearbook. I think I'm the only one that read that series. No, I read a Gotham Academy series. I stopped though, but that would be cool. I have the second and third Walking Dead omnibuses. I need the first one. I had to borrow them. I think the first one's out on Amazon. I have 5 of the Invincible Ultimate Collection so far. It's good. See, that's another thing. See, now I can spend thousands of dollars right now. Like literally go on Amazon and spend thousands of dollars right now to catch up on all my omnibuses. But then I'll go broke. So it becomes, okay, there's a lot for TMNT. They're already at 11. And there's a lot for G.I. Joe. There's a lot for Transformers. There's omnibuses and everything. I think I'm going to have to do things very slowly because I'll go broke otherwise. So I think for this lockdown, I'm going to do the Turtles. I'm going to do maybe the first volume of G.I. Joe and Transformers Phase 2. Maybe the first volume of Phase 1. Immortal. These are all in my head. I didn't buy them yet. These are all in my head and things I'd like to get during the quarantine. Immortal Hulk Volume 1. Harleen. Thank you, Bavarian, for reminding me to look that book up. And see where it goes from there. You know, I've been thinking about that. And now Brant brings up Invincible, maybe the first volume of Invincible. I have Spider-Girl, the Complete Collection, Volume 1. I did not order Volume 2 yet, and Tevye Volume 3 is coming out in July, so you might want to look that up. And then I think this is all. The books would be really, they are nice, especially going side by side. Gotham Academy was really good. Haven't read Bombshells. I thought they stopped making G.I. Joe in those hardcovers. No, maybe they did. I don't know, but I haven't owned any yet. So for me, it would be just getting into whatever's out there already. Great innocent adventure story. They just took. Okay, we're talking about Gotham Academy. An Uncanny Volume 4 is coming out soon too, which wrapped up Claremont's run. So that means I'll have to look up where Volume 4 is. Firestorm, if you find it on Amazon or is it in... I have to look in my previews. We'll look in previews and see if it's out yet because I want to make sure I have everything because if you say they sell out, I don't want to miss it. X-Men's getting too much to get in singles. Exactly. There are way too many. I don't even like the story anymore. It's a lot. And then the thing with X-Men is there's 2 types of trades coming out. There's the trades that collect the titles, and then every month there is a book called Dawn of X, and that collects all of the issues that came out in a month. They're specific issues. So like X-Men 1, Marauders 1, New Mutants 1, like basically all the number 1s. And then when the second volume comes out, it's all the number 2s. And then the third volume comes out, it's huge. They really took on a huge project doing that because you're talking about that's 4 trades. That's a whole trade every month. So you're talking about 12 Dawn of X trades. And that's when you start throwing in Cable and Wolverine and stuff. I don't even know if they'll be part of the Dawn of X. I think it'll only be the X books. But, I mean, there are other X-Men books. Helion's. So is Helion's issue 1 going to be with the Volume 6 book? I don't know. It's a huge undertaking. I will say that. But X-Men did get a bit out of control. I need Volume 3. Wait, what? Wait, I saw that. It's out of... Oh, Volume 3 is out of print. No, it's not, Ryan. You can pre-order it on Amazon. Go check it out on Amazon. Yes, it's being... That's the one I was talking about. November, exactly. They are... Yeah, they're talking about reprinting Volume 3. Yeah, Volume 3, all of them are being reprinted. I'm waiting for Chris Claremont. I might get the Chris Claremont Volume 1. My only issue is the Chris Claremont Volume 1 omnibus only has the first 9 issues of the series, and then everything else is like stuff that was around surrounding it. Is it worth Firestorm? Do you have the Chris Claremont omnibus. Is it worth it? And volume 2 sold out. So with volume 2 being sold out, should I just stick with Uncanny, or are those two omnibuses inside of the Uncanny X-Men omnibuses? If they are, I'm not going to double dip. I'd rather just get the Uncanny then. But if you have the Chris Claremont volume 1 and 2, A, is it worth it? B, should I just get the Uncanny X-Men and it'll get all of those in? Or C, how the hell am I going to get volume 2? Near Mint is an awesome dude. He helped me track down out of print books I needed. Near Mint, I like him. He's the one that I actually found the video about the TMNT arcade cabinet. If not for his video, I wouldn't have known it was out yet. So Gem Mint saved my life a bunch of times. I'm subscribed. I don't comment on a lot of people's videos. I got to start. I really do. Even with Sleepy Reader. Awesome live show. I only made 2 comments. I waved. I did this because I couldn't find a clap emote, and I think I mentioned that I'm reading the current Justice League. Oh, that's what you guys were talking about, Justice League Dark. And I said I was reading the current run of Justice League Dark because of the rot. And that's it. And I'm sure Sleepy remembers me being there. I got overshadowed by a bunch of other comments afterwards, but at least I commented a little bit. I got to start commenting on people again. I really do. I'm going to work on that. Spider-Man wasted so much time ditching the Chameleon and Kindred plot. I like the Kindred. I'm interested in seeing where Kindred goes. Oh, my God. All right, I got to catch up. I'm not going to break. I'm going to keep going now. There are just select books I have to have single issues of, and I have a lot of original Marvel G.I. Joe run, but when it got revived by IDW, I started getting those in trade. I have solid half of my collection twice. I've sold half of my collection twice. I've never sold anything in my collection, which is crazy because I've gotten crazy offers, especially for that Captain America shield. Yeah, I have a hard time waiting 6 months on a hardcover. I still buy mostly singles, then buy hardcovers once in a while. I'm so glad I buy. I'm so glad I buy digital and don't have to deal with single issue storage. Hardcovers are a treat for myself, kind of like a greatest hits collection. I don't mind the space. I really don't. It's just when I'm filling the space up with stuff I don't like that I care. And the good thing is I haven't hated a lot of the stuff I get physically. I've been thinking of doing trades, but still keeping my key issues and sentimental issues. I'll still keep all of my single issues, Jesse. I'll probably just, I won't feel as bad, and I'll stack them up a bit higher because I won't have to worry because I'll have everything in trade to read still. If we weren't doing comic book weekly, Jesse, that probably would exactly. See, that's the thing. I think if we weren't doing YouTube, and I'm not saying I regret doing YouTube. I love doing this, and I'm going to continue to do this for as long as I freaking can. Probably do this until I'm 90 years old. Look at freaking Captain Strangelove. I love Captain Strangelove. Whoever doesn't love Captain Strangelove, I don't know who you are, but Captain Strangelove is freaking awesome. I love him. He is an amazing man. He was there since the very beginning of this community with myself, and I hope to be Captain Strangelove, years from now. He's young, but he's young. I'm trying to think of old. I hope to be doing this period for a long time, so I guess I won't be giving up single issues anytime soon. But I'll always love the way and the collectability of trades. But it is true, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I probably wouldn't be getting as many single issues as I am now. Doing a weekly show, we have to stay. Yes, we do have to stay current. I hear you. Chris, they are returning the Claremont omnibuses 1, 2, 3 this year, and you can get it. I hope I find 2 then, because 2 is sold out. I can't find 2 at all, and I didn't even know there was 3. So if they're set for pre-order, somebody help me find them on Amazon or InStock. I don't think InStock does pre-orders. I think they just do orders. I can't find them. But it's good that they're reprinting them. That means I might get my hands on them. We need to do something together again down the line, Jesse. So much fun when you were on Zone 4. I agree. I loved having Jesse on Zone 4. I have Uncanny Omnibus Volume 1 and 2. So you don't have the Chris Claremont. There's a Chris Claremont X-Men Omnibus. There's a Volume 1 and 2. And Bavarian said 3 is coming. Yeah, for sure, man. I had a blast when we did that. Brand, see, this is the thing with Brand. Oh, let me do this first. I was hoping they were going to drop Black Widow on Disney Plus, but I just read it. But yeah, no, it's pushed back until November. They're not putting it on. Now, I'm going to say this with Brant, and I love you, Brant. I love Zone 4 too, and I had a feeling when Brant put Zone 4 into hiatus or ended the show, he's like me, and I love Zone 4 too. I still have the shirt. I know I told Brent I was putting it away. I didn't. Shirt's still right there in that pile. I believe it is. It better be. I think it is. And if it's not, then it's in my other drawer. But I have it still. I didn't get rid of it. And I had faith that one day Brent would find a way. I know Brent's going to find a way to get Zone 4 back. I look forward to when he does bring Zone 4 back. That was a fun show. And that I listened to Lord knows how many of those episodes. I have no idea how many episodes I listened to, but I listened to quite a lot when I first met Brent. I went back and I think I watched the ones that had titles of things I knew about and wanted to hear their opinions on. And then once I caught up to Current Day, I just listened to Current Day podcast. And then I joined the cast. I didn't have to listen to it anymore, but I was on it. But yeah, I know Brent, and he's like me. And when we have things that we're passionate about, even if we put it on hiatus or say that it's done, I have a feeling. Mine's hanging in my closet. Look at that. It's hanging in his closet. Eventually things come back. So I think that right situation, right time, right place, Zone 4 will make its return debut. What it'll be about, well, it'll be about comics. But what is going to happen on the show, what the format will be, everything like that, I can't answer that. But I can tell you all at some point I see an incarnation coming back. Frequency-wise, probably monthly, maybe weekly. I don't know. It really depends on Brand. That's his show. Me, I do Dark Avenger Live, the review, and I'm working on a few other things weekly. So I know Brand. I know he's going to try to bring his show back. And that's good. I wouldn't be against that. Oh, my God, it's Mark. What's up, Mark? What's going on, my friend? You can't pre-order on... Wait. Oh, you can't pre-order on InStock. Okay, I didn't think so, because InStock works with DCBS, so if you could pre-order on InStock, that would kind of hurt DCBS. So it's okay. If anybody could find me Volume 2 and 3, the pre-orders, that'd be great. That'd be great, because then I'll pre-order Volumes 2 and 3 also, because I'm going to start a collection, and we're going to have it in the background when I get my computer set up, and we'll watch it grow together. I'm actually looking into some omnibuses, and it's kind of funny. I was talking to Mark yesterday about Berserk. Berserk actually has a deluxe edition where it's 3 mangas in one beautifully fake leather book, and it's 3 times the size of a manga, and it's basically a hardcover size, and it looks glorious. And I was asking what his thoughts were on Berserk. He loves Berserk. So another series that you might be seeing. I'm looking to get into some manga as well. See, I'm looking to get into things slowly, though. So don't think I'm throwing a million things out at all of you. All of you are getting a million things thrown out at you. Don't think it's coming anytime like, oh, next week you're going to have like 1,000 books show up on a haul. No. But I am looking to get into all these things over time. I see your comment, Brent. Give me a second. What's up, James? What's going on? We all just got done playing Quiplash 2. You missed out on some really stupid content. It's okay, man. I mean, I got the show. This is my show every week. Off topic, Chris. Saw you were streaming Fortnite earlier, but I couldn't watch. How was Deadpool? Oh, man. Deadpool was good. I had to end the stream a minute to go off stream because Deadpool had a limited time bundle where you get a special unicorn, you get your special harvesting tools and some special emotes. And I had to put a couple of dollars because I didn't have enough V-Bucks, so I had to put a little bit more in my pull. So, yes, I put a little bit in my pull, but it was for Deadpool. Anything else, I would have never done it. And I got the Deadpool stuff. If not for Deadpool, never would happen. I don't agree with microtransactions, but, and here's a huge but, Fortnite is a free game. Therefore, I didn't have to pay for Fortnite. I did because I bought the Save the World bundle. But in reality, Fortnite is a free game. Thus, anything you buy on Fortnite, you support Fortnite. So, Fortnite, I don't hold such a grudge against having microtransactions. It's not bad. Bye, Tebby. Have a good night. But Sea of Thieves. I said for Sea of Thieves, the only time I'll put a microtransaction in is for animals. No cosmetics, no emotes, just animals. And when they brought the animals out, I think I put $15 in, got all the animals, still have a little bit of currency so I can get more animals when they release them, if they release them, and that's it. I've not done any type of and Call of Duty. I got the recent battle pass because I liked the character you get with the battle pass. But I think it was what? $5 because it was on sale, or $5 or $10. And it pays for itself over again because I think if you make it, I don't think I made it to the tier, which is upsetting. But I think for free I can make the money up and then pay for the battle pass anyway. So, but Fortnite is the same way. You put $10 in, you play almost the whole battle pass, you get your $10 back, and you can buy the next battle pass for free. I still have enough V-Bucks to get my next battle pass. Free. As long as I don't not play, I'll always have a refreshing amount of V-Bucks. Unless I don't play the next battle pass, then I save the V-Bucks and I get the following season's battle pass. Works out. Works out. Here in America, we don't give in to microtransactions unless it's really cool stuff. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. I spent 11 on Cookie Run this week. Lisa pulled me back into that mobile. Oh, Brant. Don't do that, Brant. But I will say one thing I got this week, and I have it in my background, and this is because of Mike's Spider Slayer. I actually got this from DCBS. It came back in stock. I ended up getting the free comic book day black suit Spider-Man. I love it. I love anything that's translucent plastic gets me, and this is translucent plastic, and it looks gorgeous. And one thing I like is this doesn't have a flat back like this, so it makes me think I could mount this on a wall. If I got the right mounting equipment, I could mount this, and I might. Maybe not here, but at some point, I might. And then also what came out today, I had this pre-ordered for months because it sold out almost immediately. I got my Yellow Ranger figure to continue my Lightning collection. I'm only getting the Mighty Morphin line. I have the Yellow Ranger, I think Blue Ranger and Ranger Slayer are coming out in June. All I need is Zach, the Black Ranger, and then I've got the full set. And then also what came out today, since we're talking about video games, I'm just going to keep running with it. Resident Evil 3. And then I forgot I bought it on PlayStation 4. I changed this to Xbox. Clearly I didn't. But it also comes with Resident Evil Resistance. So it's Resident Evil 3 and Resistance rolled into one. A multiplayer and a single player. Resident Evil 2 Remake was amazing. I can't wait to play Resident Evil 3. Which means that we are officially caught up because Resident Evil 4 was already remade. We don't need a remake of 5 because 5 was what? One console back, and we don't talk about 6. And 7 just came out not 3 years ago, so maybe it's time for Resident Evil 8. Time to count up. I kind of miss Mike on these streams. Any chance after this is all over he comes as a guest? Michael, I never didn't. Let me put it this way, Bavarian. I never didn't invite Michael. Michael has his own things he's doing now. So getting him here on the show is a bit hard. Believe me, as viewers and as a person, see, I don't want to put too much of a public out there or anything like that. So I'm just going to say that Michael has his life that he's leading now. And there were things that happened that are no longer there in the past. But beside the point, as much as it is for all of you to get used to it just being me without Michael, I too am getting used to doing all of this without Michael. I was always used to having Mike behind the camera. I was always used to having Mike with me in the live streams and the reviews. And just like it's something that y'all are getting used to, it's also something I'm getting used to. So this is new for all of us. And this is the norm. I can't say Mike won't come on as a guest. He's always welcome on here. This was the show this channel, literally, for 500 episodes, we built this up, together, whether he was the cameraman for the first 100 or with me for 200 on, for 101 on. But this is the way, unfortunately, things played out right now. So it's just me. I'm sorry, Bavarian. I hope that I'm entertaining, even though it's just me alone. I hope that. And I'm just working to expand and just, like I said, I'm getting used to this just like all of you are. And that was one of the major things bringing the show back. The major question I had in my mind was how different and weird it would feel doing it alone, because I always had Mike with me on Dark Avenger Live, and if that would impact the show in such a way where I shouldn't do it. And obviously, I chose to do it and to do this solo. And well, here we are. So I hope I'm still entertaining myself, solo. I really do hope that this is an entertaining show still. I'm trying my hardest. That's all I can say. I'm trying my hardest with this show, and I'm trying my hardest with Dark Avenger C86 in general. I rarely spend money on it, maybe 3 times in as many. Okay, that's not bad. I'm just pulling your leg, Brent. Oh, we got that. Or maybe, yeah. Again, the invite's always there. I'm sure we'll talk about it Tuesday, but did you read Batman, the animated series comic? No, I didn't, Brent. I probably still have to. I'll have to check it out. Only game I care about coming out is Final Fantasy VII. I care about the Avengers. Don't be sorry. It's totally fine. I get it. It's not weird. Cool. But like I said, you never know what the future holds. Just this is my, I'm the one that's here now. I live here still, not my apartment, but like this is the office in the house that I live in now. So easier for me to be by a computer. He's about 3.5 blocks away. So another thing I want to throw out there while I have all of you here is I have the next prize for the future contest of this channel. Now, as you all know, I found the first printings of the recent Batman issues. In the before I found those first printings, though, I did want to get the second printings at least, because the second printings were selling out. Well, one of the second printings came in, and since I'm getting a first printing of this book, I don't need this book anymore. So maybe it will do it will help somebody else out. So the second prize in this giveaway that will be happening at an undisclosed future date. I will have it as we get closer to it. I still have to get more prizes. Batman issue 90. This is the second printing. You don't have to worry about the Bat logo. Look at it. It looks like almost a virgin cover. Gorgeous. If I didn't get the first printing, I would love to keep this for myself. But it's going to go to a lucky winner. This is the first appearance of Designer. There's also, they said that there was an appearance by Punchline in here. I don't think so. I think Punchline was only in issue 89. So this is full on. First appearance of the Designer. Second printing's going for like $10 already now. I got this at cover price, Midtown cover price, and whoever wins this is going to get it for free. So you have the Spider-Woman lithograph, and you have Batman issue number 90's second printing. That's 2 prizes already. I'm working on a few others. This is a specific giveaway. It's going to be a Dark Avenger Live giveaway. I know I mentioned before about TMNT Volume 1, and that's if I had the money. That would be a separate giveaway altogether. This is one that I'm putting together specifically for Dark Avenger Live, and it's probably going to be closer to the end of summer because I have to get the prizes together. I have a friend who has one of the prizes who has to send it to me, and there's a second prize I still have to see if I can purchase still. So between all of that, let's see when we could get this together. And then I'm going to look through, of course, some of my stuff and see if there's some other stuff I can throw in. But we are now at 10:50. We are well over an hour, and I'm sure Brant is sitting here going, let's go, Chris, because I want to do Aftershock, and I don't blame him. There's so much to talk about. We're doing 2 weeks in one. So really quickly, I want to thank everybody who's been here with me throughout this entire live show. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. I hope all of you stay safe out there. Continue to stay safe. We're about to hit America. We're about to hit the hardest 2 weeks of this epidemic, and let's hope that after this hard 2 weeks, we'll come back stronger. We'll be able to build up again and start pushing back to life as normal as possible. Normal, of course, is a relative term. Let's just hope that we can get back to a normal routine. I have some really cool stuff. Once life does get back to normal. I have some really cool stuff planned for this channel. Let me just say it's one thing. I say stuff, but it's one specific thing that I had planned it. Really awesome. I'm really excited to do it. And I'm hoping that once everything normalizes again and we're back to a safe, everything is safe again, and we're not all, stuck at home, and everything's kind of like nice and happy. Everybody's happy again. Once everything normalizes, we could see about that series starting. As always, don't forget to follow me all across social media, which is at Dark Avenger C86. Oh man, only just made it. Stay well, sane, everyone. Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that you made it so late, but I hope you rewatch this. But thank you for stopping in, Creed. Thank you so much, my friend. But yes, everybody stay safe out there. Follow me on social media. Links to everything, as always, are in the description below. ShootingStarUniverse.com, etc., etc. You know the rundown by now. Also, if you are on Facebook, follow the Dark Avenger Nation, because we're a community that's building up on Facebook, talking about comics and everything else. Let's comfort each other in these dark times with no new comic books. Yes. But with that being said, I'm going to end this show. I love all of you guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me for an hour and almost a half tonight. We'll be back next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Comic Book Weekly will be live this Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. No Dark Avenger comic book review with no new books. However, look forward to maybe some random trade paperback reviews as I get around to reading some of them. Keep reading, keep collecting, everybody. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.